Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is David. Today, I'm going to tell you why I chose the EOS R6 over the R5. And it goes beyond just the $24.99 price tag. So I'm not gonna cover every single thing in terms of specs, because it's like an 11-page pamphlet that you could download on Canon's website. The key specs that stood out to me will be highlighted in yellow and will appear on screen as I go over them. But if you guys do want to see the entire spec sheet, just head on over to Canon's website and you can download it there. With that said, let's jump right in and talk about the EOS R6. The EOS R6 will feature a 20.1 megapixel sensor with IBIS. Hooray, we finally have IBIS, we finally did it. Yes! Take that, Sony. It also sports the same Digic X processor that is found in the EOS R5 and the 1DX Mark III, so there are some similarities between the cameras. As far as dynamic range is concerned, we don't know yet. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why does the R6 only have 20 megapixels when the original EOS R has 30? And the reason for that is actually very simple. It's for the low light performance. You see, when a camera has less megapixels like 20, that means that your high ISO performance should give you cleaner results for both photo and video. Moving on to media, we get two UHS-2 card slots for redundant recording. Having two card slots is fantastic if you plan to shoot things like events, weddings, quinceañeras, anything where you're gonna be away from a computer for extended periods of time. You wanna be able to have simultaneous backups in case one of your cards corrupt, because if you can't deliver your files to your client, you're probably not gonna get paid, and that is not fun at all. I'm also glad they kept the SD cards over the CF Express that you find in the EOS R5 and 1DX Mark III, just because CF Express, while it is better and a little bit more durable than SD cards, they're really expensive for what you're getting. And I'd rather not have to buy new media just to be able to use my camera. I'd rather buy like the new battery that the EOS R6 and R5 are gonna have, which is the LPE6NH. Say that fast 5 times, which is supposed to give you like 15% more battery life. Let's talk autofocus. So the Canon EOS R6 uses the new dual pixel CMOS autofocus version 2, which is stronger, faster, and much more accurate than its predecessor. Take that, Sony. The cool thing about the new autofocusing system in the R6 is that it has 100% coverage throughout the sensor. So no matter if your subject's on the vertical or the horizontal planes, there's an autofocus point that will probably be able to achieve focus and you'll be able to get the shot. For stills, it's going to have 1053 selectable autofocus zones. Again, these are zones, not autofocus points. If you want to see the exact autofocus points, I believe it is on the sheet that you can see right here on the screen. With that said, if you do plan to shoot video, you are going to have 819 selectable autofocus zones as well. So no matter where your subject is, you're gonna be able to acquire focus and nail it, like just nail the shot. I just would assume that your settings are correct so you could actually get the image tack sharp and not blurry. Lastly, video modes. This camera, the EOS R6, can shoot either in a H.264 or H.265 compression. And I also went ahead and highlighted the bit rates for each of the two different compressions. That way you can decide if this camera is for you in terms of video. Now there are two minor downsides. The first is that the 4K is cropped, and it's not the heavy 1.7x crop that you found in the EOS RP or the EOS R. It's actually just a 1.07x crop, which is similar to what you find in the 1DX Mark III and I believe the 1DX Mark II. Secondly, you only get the IBP compression, which is not as high quality as all-eye compression that is found in the R5 and the original EOS R. But I shot a wedding with the EOS RP, which also has the IBP compression, and the footage turned out fine. I did make some mistakes getting the exposure, but that's on me. But the footage overall out of camera looks fantastic. Again, if you look at the bit rates, especially at the H.265 compression, the bit rates are much higher, so you should be able to retain much more details and have a lot more flexibility in post. Now let me tell you why I chose this camera over the EOS R6. With all the features in mind, in terms of like the same processor, the Digic X as the 1DX3 and the R5, 20 megapixels instead of 45, fast 12 frames mechanical shutter, 20 frames silent shutter. You have IBIS, you have 4K 60. It's basically a mirrorless 1DX that's $2,500 as opposed to the $6,500. That's a $4,000 savings. And with that money that you're saving, you could dump it on buying some great RF lenses, because Canon really pumped out a lot of great RF lenses. They have the Trinity, the 28-70, two 85mm, which is insane, that are like amazing lenses, a 50mm and a 35. I already have the 35, I have an 85-1.4 and the 24-70 RF. I'm happy with that setup, so I cannot wait to actually get my hands on the camera and just see how much better things are gonna be in terms of the native lenses and how the older EF lenses are gonna perform adapted on the R6. And also, if you think about it, the average consumer doesn't need 8K. Yes, 8K is the selling point of the R5, but I think most people aren't gonna need it, especially because you probably don't have a computer that could already process that kind of footage. I mean, I can't imagine how big the file sizes are gonna be. So I feel that the R6 kind of takes the best of the R5 and just dumbs it down just a little bit, but again, price-wise, $2,500 for all those features, sign me up. If I had the money, I would buy two of these, but I don't, so I'm just gonna buy one. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope I was able to provide some clarity about the EOS R6. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit the like button and slap the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!